Okay, so today's topic is about reduction of carbonyl compounds with sodium borohydride. This is again the part of reaction mechanism only. So in this reaction mechanism, we completed substitution reactions, addition reactions, and the next is about elimination reactions and the what reduction of carbonyl compounds with lithium aluminum hydride was also completed. Now we are going to discuss about reduction of carbonyl compounds by using another reagent called sodium borohydride. This is about the structure of sodium borohydride. Boron is surrounded by 4 hydrogen atoms, and here the sodium ion is present, which is the counter ion here. Okay, so sodium borohydride is nothing but sodium ion. Sodium ion is surrounding this BH4 minus anionic species. It is the white crystalline solid. This compared to lithium aluminum hydride, sodium borohydride is least basic. The reason is aluminum hydrogen bond is a weak bond, boron hydrogen bond is strong bond. Because of this reason, aluminum hydrogen bond will be cleaved very easily, whereas boron hydrogen bond very strong. That's the reason why cleavage is not possible. So liberation of hydrogen is somewhat difficult in case of sodium borohydride. That's the reason why sodium borohydride is a weak reducing agent compared to lithium aluminum hydride. Here we mentioned the reactivity of lithium aluminum hydride and sodium borohydride. Here sodium borohydride aldehydes get converted into aldehydes reduction with sodium borohydrates. They are converted into primary alcohols, whereas ketones converted into secondary alcohols. This reaction products are exactly same as lithium aluminum hydride, but only the difference is rate of the reaction. Here rate of the reaction is somewhat slow compared to that lithium aluminum hydride. When these aldehydes treated with sodium borohydride, formation of aldehydes gives primary hydroxy. Hydroxy when attached with one alkyl group, that is called a primary hydroxy compound. When ketone is attached, when ketone is attached with when ketone is reduction with sodium borohydride, formation of secondary hydroxy compound is possible. This is another compound, another reaction of this sodium borohydride. Now let us see what is the mechanism for this, what sodium borohydride reduction. When we are taking aldehyde, aldehyde having carbonylic center, C double bond O functional group is there. This C double bond O functional group is used to react with this sodium borohydride. In this sodium borohydride, hydrogen from this boron used to attach with this carbon atom. Carbonylic carbon will accept this H minus ion, so that it is converted into O minus. So here CH3 CH2 O minus is generated. That negative, that minus oxide O minus charge is neutralized by here Na plus, which is the counter ion in the sodium borohydride. O minus Na plus is generated. Now further it's subjected to hydrolysis when water is added. Here one side H, one side OH minus is added. It is converted into CH3 CH2OH, and byproduct will be NaOH. CH3 CH2OH and NaOH formation is possible. This is a simple reaction of sodium borohydride with this aldehyde. What is going on here? Sodium borohydride when added, the important step is addition of this hydride ion to this carbonylic center. When hydride attached to the carbonylic center, O minus is neutralized by Na plus, and which further hydrolyzed by water molecule, and formation of ethyl alcohol is possible. Ethanol is generated here. Okay, so this is about the mechanism. Now let us see, when ketone taken, the reaction is exactly same. The ketone is nothing but carbonylic carbon is surrounded by 2 methyl groups or 2 alkyl groups. In this case also hydrogen is attached to the central carbon. Let us add all these members. Okay, so this hydrogen is attached to the central carbon, followed by hydrolysis. Here the formation of secondary alcohol as the final product. So this is about the mechanism of reduction of ketones by using sodium borohydride. Let us go with few examples collectively for lithium aluminum hydride and sodium borohydride. When we are taking carboxylic acid is also reduced with lithium aluminum hydride and is converted into this primary alcohol. When we are taking ester is the functional group. It is the derivative of acid only. This ester is also treated with lithium aluminum hydride. Again, it is also converted into primary alcohol. When we are taking aldehyde, this is benzaldehyde. When benzaldehyde is treated with sodium borohydride, it is converted into primary alcohol. When we are taking saturated molecule, this is what is this? Cyclohexyl aldehyde. So cyclohexanol, we can say cyclohexanol. So here Al should be taken, then only it becomes aldehyde. Cyclohexanol, when treated with sodium borohydride, what happens? Aldehyde is converted into primary alcohol. The intention is always aldehydes converted into primary alcohol, ketone converted into secondary alcohol by reduction with lithium aluminum hydride as well as sodium borohydride. We saw the mechanism. In that mechanism, hydride ion released from that uh, lithium aluminum hydride and sodium borohydride, which attached to the carbonylic center, and the next step they involved in hydrolysis and the formation of final product is possible. Okay, so we completed reduction with lithium aluminum hydride and sodium borohydride. Now the topic is about hydroboration of olefins. So this is another kind of reduction. We are applying this reduction process on carbon-carbon double bond. Olefin stands for alkene. Alkene is nothing but the compound having carbon-carbon double bond is called alkene. So those alkenes can be reduced by the addition of BH3. BH3 is called what? BH3 is called borane. So BH3 mostly exists in the form of B2H6, which is called diborane. So this diborane, when added to this olefin or carbon-carbon double bond, they involved in reduction. Okay, so that kind of reduction we are going to discuss here. Boranes are unstable. These are called boranes. BH3 is called a borane. Boranes are unstable. They exist in the form of diborane. Okay, because of electron deficient nature, always they used to form dimer. The dimer is called diborane B2H6. It is the bridged compound to stabilize the boron hydride. So in the form of BH3, Lewis base such as amines and ethers are used. So in order to stabilize these molecules, so when they are in contact with hydroxy compound or ether compound, so that they get stabilized. So this is about so simple structure of boranes. When this alkene or olefin, carbon-carbon double bonded compound is called olefin. This olefin, when treated with BH3 or borane, otherwise we may take B2H6 diborane. In step 1, what happens? One of the carbon is added with hydrogen of BH3. Second carbon is added with BH2. Here BH3 is what ionized into H and BH2. One of the H is added to carbon. Second carbon is added with BH2. Here monoalkyl diborane is formed. One side CH3CH2 group is there. Second side BH2 group is there. So in this way we will get monoalkyl borane. This monoalkyl borane have more 2 hydrogen atoms. That's the reason why we can add another carbon-carbon double bond compound. Another carbon-carbon double bond compound is added here, so that what happens? Here also one more CH2 CH3 is formed, and in the next step, so here one more hydrogen replaced with CH2 CH3. When we are adding another alkene molecule, so here third hydrogen is also replaced by CH2 CH3. This is called trialkyl borane. Around the initial compound, around the boron, we have 3 hydrogen atoms. When it is added with alkene in the stepwise manner, so here the formation of trialkyl borane is possible. This trialkyl borane is treated with hydrogen, so that what happens here, the cleavage of bond is possible, hydrogen and hydrogen is added. So we will get alkane as the final product. Let us see the detailed mechanism of this hydroboration. When double bond is treated with borane, BH3 molecule, carbon-carbon double bond. So this, as already we know, diborane or boranes are electron deficient in nature. That's the reason why this double bond able to form the bond with boron atom. When double bond forms the bond with boron atom, there is a formation of partial bond which is indicated by dotted lines. Okay, and slowly one of the hydrogen from this borane is departure of hydrogen is indicated by dotted lines again. This departing hydrogen able to form a slow bond, a weak bond. So new bond formation with this second hydrogen of carbon carbon double bond. So that here bond formation indicated with dotted lines, it is not complete bond, just initiation of the bond formation was there. And slowly this double bond involved in cleavage, that means double bond is disappeared slowly, which is indicated by cyclic transition state, which is mentioned in the square bracket. Okay, so what happens, pi bond able to form the pi bond able to form the bond with this boron atom, so that carbon boron new bond formation is possible. That's the reason why here this bond becomes dotted line, becomes because it is involving in new carbon boron bond formation. And this boron hydrogen bond is slowly breaking, so that it is indicated by dotted lines, and new carbon hydrogen bond formation is observed. New carbon hydrogen bond formation is indicated by again another dotted lines. This total structure is represented in a transition state, because we can't isolate this compound. Just it is the hypothesis, within the short time this cyclic compound is formed and it immediately converted into the product. What is the product? One side hydrogen is added, another side BH2 group is added. This is alkyl borane. In next step, what happens? Another alkyl group is added here, another alkyl group, so that it becomes trialkyl borane. So this is about the mechanism of addition of borane with carbon-carbon double bond, olefinic double bond. This formed carbon alkyl compound with borane, so that involved in the reaction further, and further alkylation is possible. We will get trialkyl borane as the product. Then trialkyl borane can be converted into different products. Either alkanes are generated, otherwise alcohols are generated. Nothing but hydroxy compounds can be generated. So how can we synthesize? If this trialkyl borane, if this trialkyl borane is treated with this H plus, what happens? This is added with hydrogen, so that 3 moles of alkane is generated. 3 moles of alkane is generated. Otherwise, this trialkyl borane, when treated with hydrogen peroxide, when it is treated with hydrogen peroxide is nothing but HOOH. HOOH when added, one side OH, one side OH is added, so that it is converted into alcohol or hydroxy compound. In this way, hydroboration finally yields either alkane or alcoholic compound based on our requirement. We may add acidic reagent or hydrogen peroxide to this trialkyl borane. So this is about the hydroboration process. In this hydroboration, what happens? We are treating. It is the type of reduction where boranes can be added to carbon-carbon double bonded compounds. By that we completed our reduction process. So reduction process are totally completed. In that reduction, what we discussed, reduction with sodium borohydride, reduction with diborane was completed. Our last topic in this unit 4, that is reaction mechanism, stereochemistry and synthesis of drug molecules. Last topic is synthesis of aspirin and paracetamol. Now we are going to discuss about synthesis of aspirin. This is the chemical structure of aspirin. Aspirin is the versatile drug which is used worldwide for pain relieving, to relieve the pain of any person. Okay, anybody are suffering from the body pains or headache or stomach pain, anything that can be relieved, that can be reduced by the addition of this aspirin, being it is a pain relieving agent, we can say in the chemical terminology, it can be stated as analgesic agent. Aspirin is considered as an analgesic agent. So that analgesic agent is mainly used to relieve the pains. Okay. Aspirin chemical structure is benzene ring containing two functional groups. One is carboxylic acid moiety. Second is O C double bond O CH3. This is called ester functional group. Okay. So the chemical name of the aspirin is oxyacetyl salicylic acid. Okay. So oxyacetyl salicylic acid is the chemical name of the aspirin. We can say commonly aspirin. So aspirin is the commercial name of this compound. So let us see how it can be synthesized. Aspirin is prepared. Aspirin is prepared by treating with acetic anhydride in the presence of dehydrating agent, that is sulfuric acid. When this is added, what happens? Here H and CH3COO minus is eliminated. So here hydrogen replaced with CH3C double bond O functional group. CH3C double bond O group is called acetyl functional group. That's the reason why here it is called electrophilic substitution reaction. COOH, benzene ring at are the position O C double bond O CH3, and the byproduct will be H is attached to remaining part, that is CH3C double bond O OH, which is acetic acid. So this orthohydroxybenzoic acid is called salicylic acid, and the reagent added is acetic anhydride. In the presence of sulfuric acid, acid catalyst, the final product will be O-acetyl salicylic acid, which is called aspirin. Mechanism of the reaction: initially we can add acid catalyst. When acid catalyst was added, this oxygen is converted into oxonium ion. Now that oxonium ion containing a compound is treated with OH. Here already we know always oxygen carries two lone pair of electrons. These electrons are attached to the carbon atom, so that here carbon oxygen bond formation is possible. When carbon oxygen bond is generated, what happens? Here when carbon oxygen bond is generated, this bond is shifted towards this side, and simultaneous removal of this functional group is possible. Finally we will get O C double bond O CH3 here. So what we have to do now, in order to get this, here hydrogen should be removed from the center, double bond formation is possible. In the remaining total, the CH3COO group is eliminated. From the center H plus, from the center CH3COO minus, so that acetic acid is eliminated, we will get O C double bond O CH3 functional group at this position. So this is called O-acetyl salicylic acid, which is the final required product aspirin. Now let us see what are the applications of aspirin. Aspirin is the analgesic agent mainly used for the relief headache. So any body pains when present, those are also removed by this aspirin. And the next is about fever conditions. Not only analgesic property but also antipyretic property. So balancing body temperature is called relieving fever. So this property is also present for aspirin. Hence, it is the antipyretic agent also. Inflammations are nothing but any pained region with high swelling is called inflammation. So this can be used in the treatment of rheumatoid arthritis. Rheumatoid arthritis are nothing but where the joints present in our body. So bone joints, so in that area we will get inflammations. So swelling of that part is possible because of rupture. So that kind of conditions also reduced by using this aspirin. So rheumatoid arthritis are nothing but joint pains relieving agent it is. And the next is about heart attack and strokes. So it is the important reagent for blood thinning. So it used to reduce the viscosity of blood so that blood pumping becomes very easy. So the patients who are suffering from high cholesterol and low pumping of blood in heart patients. In that case, we can apply this aspirin, which used to reduce the thickness of blood so that pumping of blood becomes easy and relieve that person from heart attacks. So this is about what